From Zawiya's perspective, how important was it to expand geographically rather than being focused on a certain market? So was that a key thing that sort of made you move quite fast? Did you start in any specific geography and initially, and when did you move to a more regional role?
Well, actually, the Zawiya concept is from day one was a regional business provider.
For the Arab region?
Yeah, because the premise was that business is done regionally. The Saudi people invest in UAE, and the UAE invest in Egypt, and so forth. And that was the theme concept. But it is important to understand the market size, because you maybe it's the worst thing you might end up with is building a nuclear weapon to kill a fly. So you don't want to overbuild a solution for a small market. You've got to understand that the market will take whatever you build in returns.
And this is sort of critical for a market like Qatar, where it's not a big market. And maybe if you're building something, you got to really think about it from a regional perspective for it to scale. Otherwise, maybe as a local market, just focusing on it might be too small as a market, right?
In general, yeah, I would say so, but it depends on the category. I mean, we're hearing things like certain market taste, let's say, people are here download videos, they love number plates, car number plates. So maybe if you do something on car number plates, it would be a big idea here, just for Qatar. So it depends, but in general, yeah, of course, the bigger the market, the better. Actually, that's why the biggest companies, unfortunately, it's not surprising that Facebook and the Yahoos and the Googles are based in the States, because it's a big major market.
Yeah. What about, a question to all of you in terms of the Arab region being having a population of 320 million people, the Muslim world having a population of nearly 1.2 billion, I think, right? 1.5 billion. So, is that a market that we can address together, as one homogeneous kind of group in the different businesses you're in? So maybe I'll take it around.
It's a very tough question, actually. I've been struggling with that for the last few months. We're starting with a new concept. Our argument is that, there's like 65 million internet users in the Middle East. That's a big market now. We should be doing something about this, but the reality is there's a lot of tastes and a lot of fragmentation. The 16-year-old in Egypt wants something different from the 16-year-old in Saudi, and the 16-year-old in the UAE is different from the 16-year-old in Syria. So really, yes, they're all online, but they want different things. However, if you're lucky to find the one thing or two that they all want, then yes, you've got a great business.
On one side, you are covering 1.5 billion kind of population as a target market, correct?
Yeah, I mean, our target market is the global Muslim community, but it's also broken up. So eventually, there are some common things that the religion defines that we all share. But in terms of people's practices, even the way they do philanthropy, the institutions they have in their own country. Some countries like Libya have 0 NGOs, okay? So Libya is not a big market for us. It won't be until things change in Libya. However, a country like, Pakistan or Indonesia, they have thousands of NGOs. So that's a very, kind of balkanized market you can try to organize. But the one thing we will definitely do over time is we have to get into different languages. So we're right now in English as a lingua franca for everyone, but probably Bahasa, Indonesia, is probably the biggest Muslim country is Indonesia. So we're probably going to Bahasa language. We're probably going to Arabic. We're probably going to French or Turkish. So language is a minimal thing, and then you have to sort of create sort of national, sub-sites or mini-sites, which could be different. But there are also examples of global sites like Facebook or Google that have done pretty well. They've kind of met the minimal need of people across countries, and they've been able to scale up. So it's finding that kind of kind of that would be the ideal, obviously, is
Yeah.
finding solutions like that. Otherwise, you have to do a lot of custom tailoring.
But I think that should be one of the objectives of entrepreneurs, to try to find as much common ground as possible, right? For it to be scalable. In your business, from a content perspective, are you covering a regional aspect? I mean, you have a few cases with Tawatur now for success stories locally, but what about the regional coverage?
Yes, for Tawatur, we are targeting the whole Arabic market. So we are targeting the Arab world, plus whoever speaks Arabic all over the world. So, of course, there is a big market in the West who are Arabic speakers and who would potentially be good clients for high quality Arabic content. But going back to the question of, we have 320 million, we have, the Arab population is, close to the US population. So one difference you touched on was, the level of education, access to the internet, etc. But I think another important difference is that the US is one nation. Okay, they don't have borders, they don't have customs, they don't have different regimes and different practices. So scaling the market in a country like the US, although they have 300 plus people who speak the same language, they have that more or less shared culture, but they do have a very diverse demographic. So they have 16 years old people in downtown big city is much different than a 16-year-old in the suburbs. They go to different schools, they have different incomes, they have different social habits. So I think going forward in the Arab world, hopefully as our political systems are being fixed and the people have more say in managing themselves, I think we would have a much better market, a more unified market with a shared platform for public opinion, like Al Jazeera, for example. Now everybody, if you watch Al Jazeera and have seen that clip that has been played hundreds of times, where a Tunisian guy says "Harimna, Harimna," he puts his hand over his head. This has become a shared culture. So now we have a shared platform where somebody in North Africa says something, and the whole Arab world actually recognizes what he's saying and feel together with him. So I think going forward, the Arab market will be a very good market to target, and that's what we're doing at the moment.
That is a good point, and what has been happening so far in the region, gives us the feeling that there is this common ground, that people are able to communicate similar kind of values, similar kind of ways to communicate, and I think that poses a good opportunity for entrepreneurs, absolutely. And like Masoud was saying, there's a couple of key products, let's say, social services, etc., that have been able to cross boundaries, and even though it's the same product, provide and be successful in all of these different markets. So that is quite interesting.